This is the Louie T Network.
Man, I love some football. Man, I love some football. My favorite week is week 1, cause I'm watching football. First comes the preseason, now I don't take a day off. And then it gets even better when your team makes the playoffs. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. 32 teams go hard for one thing. They work for one thing, that Super Bowl ring. Yeah. We in the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I am your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the program. Wild Card Weekend in the National Football League playoffs. Playoffs? That's right. It's postseason time again in the National Football League. These teams looking to advance to the divisional round of the postseason. But in order to do that, they've got to take care of business in Wild Card Weekend. 2 more matchups on Sunday, the first of which is at 1:05 Eastern Standard Time. Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Colts, your 4 seed in the AFC Conference. Bengals, your number 5 seed. And this game will take place on the CBS network. Let's talk about this game. To me, this is a really simple one. I don't like the way the Colts are playing football, but I love me some Andrew Luck. Whether he's making mistakes or not, the guy is mentally tough. He gets it. He understands what he has to do and what his team needs from him to get it done on a week-in, week-out basis. I don't like the way they finish up the season. I don't like the fact that they don't have a running game to speak of. Look, you're not going to scare anyone with Boom Herron. You're not going to scare anyone with Trent. So the running game is non-existent. Once Ahmad Bradshaw went down again, so did the running game. So the running game isn't going to be something you can hang your hat on with this Colts team. I didn't like the way they finished off the season. They could have easily have lost to Cleveland in Cleveland. They could have lost to the Texans had they not been down to their 10th string quarterback. And they got their brains bashed in by the Cowboys, and then they got a layup in Week 17 versus the Tennessee Titans. Not a great way to finish up the season, but now it's the postseason. Wipe the slate clean. I don't know if you can turn the switch on and off. If you're the Colts, you're not a good enough team to do that. But luckily enough for you, staring you in the face in Wild Card Weekend is a team that you destroyed earlier in the season. As a matter of fact, they didn't even score a single point against you. You blanked them in that football game. And the same circumstances that they faced in that game, they could be facing them in this game. The reason why they were so inept offensively, no A.J. Green in that game. And look, it could easily be another situation where there is no young, fresh, and green. A.J. Green could be out again. Remember, Week 17, he suffered a concussion. Now he's going through the concussion protocol. Has not been cleared to play. As a matter of fact, on the first injury report, he has been listed as doubtful. Now, that doesn't mean he isn't going to play. It just means he is highly unlikely to play. And if he doesn't play, I am not giving this Cincinnati Bengals team a shot. Now, first of all, your quarterback is Andy Dope. Andy Dalton is at the helm, and this guy just isn't made for primetime television. When the lights are their brightest, the stage is its biggest, Andy shrinks to about that size right there. And to me, you can't get past wild card weekend with Andy Dalton as your quarterback. He's got a lot to prove, not just to me. He doesn't have to prove anything to me. He's got a lot to prove to a lot of people, including the other 52 guys in that locker room, that he can get it done because they've seen the story, they've read the script, they've seen the movie already, and they just keep hitting the rewind button, and it keeps doing the same thing over and over. The movie plays itself out the same way with Andy Dalton having a terrible performance and this team bowing out in wild card weekend. The teams change. The venue changes, but the results remain the same. The Cincinnati Bengals lose in wild card weekend. I don't think that is going to change in 2014, 2015. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts despite the lack of a running game, despite their sloppy finish to the season. I like Andrew Luck much better than I trust Andy Dalton. I'm taking the Indianapolis Colts at home to right the ship and get it done 30-20 over the Cincinnati Bengals. You look at the afternoon capper of the weekend, and to me, by far the best of the wild card weekend matchups. That's the NFC East champion, number 3 seed in the NFC, Dallas Cowboys, hosting the number 6 seed, Detroit Lions, at 4:40 on Fox. This is going to be a dandy, and for a minute there, I thought this game was going to just lose a little bit of its luster. And Ndamukong Suh was about to be suspended. He had actually been suspended a game. He appealed and had it rescinded. They reduced his suspension to a $70,000 fine. So arguably the most important cog of that defense is going to play. And I know he hasn't had the best of games of late, but if they're going to have any success stopping the Cowboys' rushing attack, which to me needs to be priority number 1 in this game, you're going to need big number 90 in the center of your defense in order to do that. And so if the Lions are going to have, and that's where you start with this game, if the Lions are going to have any chance of upsetting the Dallas Cowboys, who right now are a lot of people's upset pick to go all the way, not only to the NFC Championship, to the Super Bowl from the NFC. A lot of people are on the Dallas Cowboys train right now. And that thing is chugging along, choo-choo, going down the tracks. And everybody's on board. Jerry's got a full load. And right now, I don't know if there are many more seats available. As a matter of fact, standing room only on that Dallas Cowboys bandwagon. But I tell you what, the Detroit Lions have as good a shot as any to upset this Cowboys team in wild card weekend. Now, a number of things are going to happen. Number 1, they got to stop the run. If DeMarco Murray is able to have his way, if that offensive line up front is able to create a new line of scrimmage like they've done all season long, he's your rushing champ in the National Football League, over 1,800 yards rushing on the season. If he's able to pick apart this Lions defense and get into the secondary and pick up chunks of yardage, if this offensive line is able to stifle them and stymie them at the line of scrimmage, create a new line of scrimmage in the run game, and also stonewall them and give Tony Romo time to throw the football, the Lions don't stand a chance defensively. If the Lions can somehow penetrate that Great Wall of Dallas and get into the backfield, whether it's chasing after Romo or stopping the run and stuffing it, this team is going to have a legit shot at winning this game. Now, that's from a defensive standpoint. From an offensive standpoint, this team doesn't do enough for me. With all the talent that they have, they should be scoring 24 points, no questions asked. Instead, they're scoring 17, they're scoring 14, they're scoring 16. On a good week, they'll score 20 or 23, but they don't score enough points for me when they play against good football teams. When they play against the Bears and the Buccaneers, yeah, they'll ratchet it up, score 31 points, no problems. But when they play against teams that can actually play some defense, like a Minnesota, like a Green Bay, they struggle to put points on the scoreboard. And this Dallas team, despite not having any stars on their team defensively, they do it as a group collectively. They don't get after the quarterback very well, but as a group, they find ways to disrupt the passer. If the Lions are going to win this game, not only are they going to have to step up defensively, but this offense is going to have to generate some big plays, and they're going to have to get in the end zone. We know about the kicking struggles all year. It's kind of subsided with the addition of their newest kicker, Matt Prater, and he's kind of stabilized that kicking situation, but you still don't quite trust it if you're a Detroit Lions fan. You need to score touchdowns. And with Heavens to Megatron and Golden Tate and Easy E, Eric Ebron, and all of the weapons you have, Reginald Bush, Joique Bell, you have a slew of guys you can get the football to. Matthew Stafford needs to learn how to share. Spread the ball around, hit different targets, matriculate the ball down the field, give yourself a chance. If you're the Cowboys, you have a winning formula. You've used it all season long, and it is simple. Run the football with DeMarco Murray. Set up play action fake. Take shots down the field, whether it's Dez Bryant on one side, or it's T. Will Terrence Williams on the other, or it's little itty bitty Cole Beasley in the slot. Find ways to take advantage of that run game and use it to have wide open targets in the passing game. Jason Witten still there getting it done. And so this is a team with weapons galore. They get it done, and it all starts up front with that offensive line and the running game, and then it just matriculates its way all the way down to the passing game. And this team has been proficient all season long. They need to remain a balanced football team. Run the football. Don't change your identity now. This is not the time to try to reinvent the wheel. Your running game has been dominant all season long, has led you to 12 wins. Your passing game has fed off of your running game, and your defense has been opportunistic of late, and they get pressure on the quarterback as a group and stop the run as a group. Right now isn't the time to play hero ball on the defensive side of football, and it is not the time to try to deviate from what works, which is the ground game. This isn't the day to decide to have Tony Romo throw it 37 times and only give DeMarco Murray 18 carries. This is not the game for that. Needs to remain balanced. And it's funny. I heard your safety talking about getting revenge on Golden Tate for the blindside block that he put on Sean Lee. And Barry Church has been talking about it in the media, which to me is a mistake. A, you don't want to put that kind of business out there because now the officials are looking at you. And if you do anything that resembles anything dirty, they're going to throw a flag on you. So that's number one. You made yourself a marked man. And number two, Golden Tate has laughed him off. He says, who's Barry Church? Never heard of him. So that's going to throw. I love sidebars, okay? I love the side stories that come attached to some of these games. And so this one has one going into the game. Barry Church looking for revenge for the shot that Golden Tate delivered when he was a member of the Seattle Seahawks on Sean Lee. And Golden Tate saying, Barry Church, never heard of the guy. Who is he? Guy's a bum. So that's going to be fun to watch as these two teams lock horns. This is a very evenly matched game to me. Cowboys' strength is the Lions' strength. Lions best in the league at stopping the run. Cowboys best in the league at running football. Something's going to have to give. If you ask me, I just don't have confidence in the Lions' ability to score points. I think the Lions have a great opportunity to win this game. Would not surprise me in the least if they do win this game. But I just can't go against Dallas, that rushing attack, and their ability to throw the football with Dez Bryant. And what to me seals it for me isn't anything that Dallas is going to do in this game, but the fact that Detroit just doesn't score enough points. If the Lions utilize their offense the way that they were supposed to and score the points that they should be scoring on a weekly basis, I take Detroit in a hurry in this game because I think they'll somewhat be able to neutralize that Dallas rushing attack enough that they should be able to score enough points to win. But if they're not scoring any points, they're still going to lose this game, and I have Dallas finding a way to win this game 27-20 over the Detroit Lions in this game and advancing to the divisional round where they will take on the Green Bay Packers. that's going to do it for the Sunday action here in Wild Card Weekend in the Lab Room. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the Lab Room. Come back and join me as we'll break all of the action down in Wild Card Weekend of the National Football League. Looking for your predictions. I'm keeping tally of all of them. So don't give me the Saturday games and not give me the Sunday games. Don't give me the Sunday games and not give me the Saturday games. I want all of your predictions. A-L-L, all of your predictions. And I want to be able to say, hey, this person was spot on. This person was not. And so, you know, I'm going to hit. I'm going to bat 1,000. When it's all said and done, I'm looking to go 4-0 in Wild Card Weekend. I'm looking for you to give me your best. Anything less will be uncivilized. I'll see you in a bit to break all of these games down.
In the Lab Room.